What's up, gamers, and welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I got another video where we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a subject discussion on arcs. And then once I'm done talking about that, I'm going to give you another leveling strat that might be good for those who want to level a specific character as fast as possible. There are, decent ways of doing a bit of level grinding if you want to go that route. Now, before I continue with the video, I do want to do a quick shout out to Awesome Games Done Quick. So for those of you watching this video the day that I'm releasing it, January the 11th, this is the final day of the week-long charity speed running. What they do, and I know that a lot of you are new to my channel, so this is kind of the reason I'm bringing this up. Normally I'd be advertising this on a podcast, but we haven't been able to do an episode lately due to IRL stuff. But basically, they're a group of people who speed run various video games basically, twice a year. They do a week in January and a week in June. And right now they're advertising to raise money for for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And at the time of my recording, they've raised over $1.5 million. And their goal is to try to get up to 3 million by the end of the day, which is basically going to be the end of the whole run. So hopefully they get to that goal, and I just want to give them a quick shout out. And for those of you that want to check it out, I highly recommend you do so. Just go to Twitch TV. You can download the app on any mobile device, gaming device, or computer that you have. Download Twitch TV, and then in the search bar, go to AGDQ, and it'll pull it up. So I highly recommend that you show them some love, check out what they're doing. And then also, if you want to be, one of the contributors, to help with raising the money, charity as well. So, like I said, I just want to give them a little bit of hype and show them some love because I haven't been able to advertise them as much as I'd like to. So, there you go. Now, on with the video. So, we're going to be talking about arcs today. And what I want to discuss are just a few quick things. Now, this is something that you'll probably see in a few other channels that talk about Last Cloudy as well. I just kind of want to talk about it too. So arcs are very important for various reasons. Some of the more obvious reasons is that it gives you the ability to learn lots of skills and abilities. So that's one of the main reasons to use it. But another reason you're going to want this is for certain events like Tower that's up and coming. These can, if you have these leveled high enough, you'll be getting a lot of good boost in certain arc attributes. So they're also good for certain events if you want to make sure that you can win the more tougher things, or if you want to equip them for certain boss battles. So not only are you learning skills and abilities, but as you're equipping these arcs, you get extra attributes as you're wearing them. So very, very good to have. The more you level them, the better the abilities will be. But there are other reasons too to have these arcs. So first and foremost, when you level the arcs to certain levels, you gain certain prizes. Now, obviously, I've already gained everything here, but typically you'll get the gems, in the beginning. But the level 10 rewards depends on the rarity of the item. So this is an SSR. So for getting this to level 10, I was able to get an Aether, or a Therion, excuse me. So that's pretty cool. And I'm also going to talk about what to do with these as well. Because in the beginning, I kind of just used them for no good reason and I'm regretting it, but it's fine. But there's something that you want to do with this. So we'll talk about that here soon. Now, if you are to level, let's say, a rare arc to the max level, then you'll get different rewards. So, and just to kind of show you, I think this is a rare. So here you go. So since this is a rare one, once I reach level 10 with this particular arc, I'll have 200 of these little gems. And then for an SR, it's a little bit different because I believe each rarity has its own rewards. I want to say this is an SR, right? Yeah. So if you were to get this to level 10, you would get 300. But when you're leveling an SSR, once I get to it, the one that I haven't leveled yet, to max level 10, you get a Therian. So it's really, really recommended that, you level these arcs as far as, using your resources to build them up. Now, obviously, don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Ideally, you want to do it to the arcs that you're actually using. I do kind of limit myself, so I don't just level anything. I only level things with abilities that I feel I'm going to use. Like with this particular one, these skill costs are so high that I have no intention of ever using these for at least a few months. So because of that, I'm not even going to waste my time maxing these. The way that I like to limit myself until like I get more skill points for all my characters is if an ability costs more than 7, I'm not going to waste my time. Now there are some exceptions to the rule because there is an arc that I plan on leveling to level 10 where the actual level 10 ability is actually costing less than the level 9 ability, which is interesting. I don't remember which arc it is, but so there are obviously a few, exceptions. And then, of course, I made one other exception that I regret, which was doing high level magic chant. Now, a lot of you would say, well, that's a broken ability for anyone who have a mage, and I agree. But the problem is because the skill cost is so high, I feel like I'm limiting what I can actually do. So I can't use as many good, stat bumps or certain spells or whatever the case may be to make the character better. So that's why personally I think that it was a waste for me and I should have waited until, later on. Because in all honesty, I've had no real need for high level magic chant. Just casting spells at regular speed with, strong magic power and, a good crits and boost or whatever has been good enough. I haven't really needed the speed, so to speak. I mean, that's kind of what my frontline people are for, is to deal damage as fast as possible. But once I do reach higher skill costs overall for the characters, then yeah, high level magic chat will be definitely a must for me. But currently, I'm alright. But yeah, that's another thing. So obviously, you want to get level 10 for the stuff that you want the most. This is one of the ones that is highly recommended. All these skill costs are not too high at all, and like this is probably one of the best ones to get for any mage type character or sorcerer. Um, I did this one because I'm focusing on making Lena, an earth damage type person. So I got the earth critical for her, tornado storm, which, was a good ability for her. And like I said, all of this is relatively decently as far as cost. And what I'm proud to say that I got is this one, which is the very first SSR that I maxed out. It gives me the ability to have more or less a lot of the better guards. And even though auto barrier does cost 7, I still don't use it because right now there's just other things that are in the way that I just can't afford it right now. But I mainly got it for the spell guards, grand guards, and all that. So as a matter of fact, I'll show you too that I've actually made my tank all the guards I think that exist right now, and I'm proud to say that I have it. So again, definitely worth leveling the ones that you need that you plan on using the most. And then of course, as long as they're decently costed, you can afford to use these abilities. I say go for it. Like I said, if you're on a budget or you can't play as often or whatever the case may be, getting some of these lower costing abilities will basically overall help you for your limitations. Because if you just try to equip a bunch of high costing abilities, it's really gonna make you weaker overall. At least that's my opinion. For the Ethereans, I do want to kind of go over that real quick. So, what should you use your Etherean on? So, I'm going to recommend, and other YouTubers may have, different point of views on this, but I would recommend using it for any particular item that you want to get for whichever your favorite characters are. So, for example, let's say you really want Sevia to be, one of the best. I think there's an item. I'm not sure which one. It's one of the ice ones, but I don't know which one it is. Oh, I think it's this one right here. Oh, I hear a noise, which means that I can collect something. So let me do that real quick. There we go. Don't forget to do that. They reappear over and over from time to time. But when I go to the Ether rewards, you get the Treasure Sword Eliud, if I said it right. And what it does is your crit rate is plus 3%, which is definitely what Sevia needs. And then regular attacks have a chance to inflict defense minus 25. So it's an ice-based weapon with an additional crit rate, something that I would definitely want to use for Sevia. So this is kind of an idea of, what I would possibly want to go for. Now, I'm not going to do it myself. That's just one avenue you could take as far as, which arcs you should level first, as far, getting the item that you want. But I personally would recommend doing it to an SSR arc. And the reason for that is because SSR arcs are the most difficult to get. So because they're so rare in their drops, if you're gonna wait and get them naturally, it's just gonna take forever. So I recommend that as far as any rare arcs that you have, don't really, rush to use your Ethereums on getting those to 100% because you're gonna get them naturally by getting, doing your 10x pulls and stuff like that. But for this, for example, which is something that I'm considering, obviously it's at 13%. So once I have, you know, enough Ethereum to get to the point where I can just automatically push this to 100, I can go for this particular item, the Shield of Aegis, which I would basically give to my tank. So when automatic guard is activated, basically you take 25% less damage, which is really, really good for, that tank type character. So I would personally recommend going through the SSR arcs that you have, see which item you want the most, and then save up the Ethereum for that specifically. Don't just kind of use them randomly on different things. That's what I did in the beginning because I was a noob and didn't know what I was doing, and should have been smart because I know better to save those rare items for when you really need them. But I don't know, just being an idiot. But yeah, that's my idea of what you should do with Ethereums is save up a bunch until you're able to dump them on an SSR to get the item you want. And there's another good thing about doing this too is that once you do get the arc at 100%, your AP rate triples for whatever their normal would be. So right now, I would get 10 AP for each battle. Well, instead of it being 10, it'll jump to 30 for the first four, and then the others will go up to 18 and 24. So once they're 100%, then if you plan on learning these abilities for someone later on, you'll be able to learn them a lot faster. So, that's another reason that you want to, get these done because it'll be easier to level people in the future. And I also kind of want to briefly kind of show off, the unit that I got to all the guards for. There she is, Miss Melza. So when I look at her skill sets, you're going to see a lot of guard type stuff. So you're looking at obviously HP and all that stuff, but guard, steel guard, vigilance, spell guard. You got heal guard, magic guard, grand guard. Uh, I just have illusion just because why not be able to dodge on top of being able to take less damage. Also, I'm doing damage absorption to gain HP when taking hits. So, like I said, a lot of the good guard stuff, and it's awesome. I like it. Grand guard basically making guard break less likely to occur. Magic guard, I can get more MP when guarding, and you might think, well, that's not really important. Well, I do have her cast Galaxy every now and then, so you never know. Or actually, Grand Protection is really what I cast for the most part. Spell Guard is the one that I got from the more rare one, I believe. Is when Guard is equipped, chance to guard against magic attacks. That was from the SSR arc that I got level 10. That's going to be really good because obviously in the arena and the upcoming tower, which is going to be happening in January, I assumed it would be February, but with the upcoming tower, I'm sure that Spell Guard is going to be used for a lot of those big AOE spells. And then, of course, when eventually when arena hits, they're always going to be doing the instacast stuff. So this will definitely help against all that kind of things. But yeah, there you go with that. And I've also completed her ability board as well. Because I believe in the last video, I think I was starting to work on her. And yeah, she's pretty much done. Like I said, Grand Protection is the main thing that I'm glad to have. Because I 100% will be using that on the upcoming tower. Because that's how I'm going to hopefully stay alive. And we'll go from there with whatever else I have. And also, now that we're more or less done with the whole arc discussion, I kind of want to show you a little tip as far as level grinding. So, and this is really only for certain events where you get specific things. Trading dungeon is one thing you can attempt, but what I want to show off is the trading field because with the trading field, you have the chance of getting these gold pockles. I think that's what they're called. And right now, certain heroes have, rate up or experience up. Well, if you're using one of the characters that's getting the experience boost, and especially if you're getting potential gold pockles, what I would recommend is clearing a dungeon with that one person. So right now, Lena gets double experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start the quest with just her. And because everything's going to be doubled, that'll help her level up a lot faster. So typically in this area, I'll get around maybe 20 some thousand. I think the most I've gotten is like 50 some thousand experience in one, round of battle. So that's a really, really cool way to grind it out. And of course, using a helper won't deduct from the experience that you gain. So it's just kind of there to help your character not die. I'll just keep it on auto, just gotta let it do their thing because this training area is super easy anyway. So it's the easiest way to get certain characters leveled up really, really fast. And then, of course, in the training dungeon thing that you usually get every Monday, you can do the same thing there, assuming that you have a helper that's very strong. Like here, I can use pretty much anyone and it won't matter. And the other thing, it would take a little doing. Hopefully, I can see some gold pockles. I don't think I've seen any yet. I don't really know. Yeah, I think this is one of those unfortunate rounds where I don't get a gold pockle, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of experience here. I'm still getting double experience, which is nice. Oh, there they are. So these things give you a ton of experience. I'm not exactly sure how much it is per, unit, but it's a lot. And I think you can get that bigger pockle as well, which also gives you a ton of experience too, if I'm not mistaken. And had I thought about this, I would have done this for other characters when they first did this, on the other events, but I just didn't think of it till now. And of course, we have the boss battle, which typically doesn't have the gold pockles, which is fine. And like I said, I keep it on auto. They can win without it. It's not a super hard boss or anything. And Randy's going to knock him out anyway. Look at that. There you go. Get out of here. So, since it's relatively easy, it's the best way to get, good experience for certain characters if they have the double experience. And even if they don't have double XP, I mean, you can still go through certain areas with just one person and level grind them that way. It's not as fast, but I mean, it's still helpful. So the experience acquired here was about 11K, which is about average. So I'm going to get about 23K here. So that's going to help her level up, very, very quickly. And that's pretty much how you can level grind to make it faster for one person at a time. So for if you try to get a bunch of people at level 80 fast, it's best just to be patient and doing one hero at a time. With the ones that you plan on using, hey, you have to collect something. All right. Okay, there we go. And then also for the trading dungeon, right now they're letting you do it every day, but typically it's on Mondays only. I would recommend doing it for this too. Now, it's going to be a little more difficult because it's not nearly as easy as the training field. So, it might be a situation where you need to make sure you have one of those insta-cast helpers that deal a ton of damage to the board every round, and that's going to be your best way to, get a lot of experience for that character. So, that's something to consider too. And then obviously you can just go to the adventure and do the same thing. The grind will be a lot slower, but it's doable because again, you're not getting like double XP on a regular mode. So, it's still a good strat, if you want to focus, but you don't necessarily have to. That's going to be more a matter of preference if you want to go there. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video this time. It's going to be a bit shorter than normal, which I'm sure a lot of you appreciate. And again, hype to SGDQ or AGDQ 2020. They're currently on their 10th year, which I didn't know. I started watching them back in 2014 on YouTube when they were posting it there, and then I started actually catching it live. I think in 2017 was either 2016 or 2017. I started watching them live, and then I made my first donation in Awesome Games Done Quick 2017. And then for Awesome Games Done Quick or Summer Games Done Quick 2019, I actually bought a Games Done Quick T-shirt, which went to charity. So like I said, it's a thing that I'm proud of. You got gamers, doing my favorite hobby to raise money, for a good cause. It's always a good thing. So I just want to give them another shout out at the end of this video. And also for those of you who want to catch the podcast that me and my boy Handy Killcam do, we're typically live on Wednesdays. We used to be on Twitch, but right now we're on Facebook. Just look up Handy Killcam, HandyKillcam. So just look him up. He has a Twitch page. He has YouTube. He's now on Facebook as well. He's doing all kinds of things. And he also does a charity stream himself for able gamers on Thursdays. This will be on Twitch TV. But if you want to catch our podcast, it's on his Facebook page, which is still Handy Killcam. We're live Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Central. So check us out, show us some love. We do basically just talk about video games, not just mobile, but console type stuff too. Anything going on like the Game Awards or E3 or whatever the case may be, or just random, things that have just happened with content creators. We talk about it sometimes. So, be there to kind of show us some love. And of course, if you don't catch it right away, we are on other platforms as well. I believe for the longest time we were on SoundCloud. I think we were doing Stitcher for quite a while. I believe we're on Anchor, which is one of the biggest followings that we have right now. And obviously, we have been posting on YouTube, which doesn't really get a lot of views on YouTube, but that's fine. But we're in a lot of places. We're trying to kind of spread what we do. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Again, please check out Awesome Games Done Quick. If you're catching this right now on January the 11th, please check them out. Like I said, this is the final day of this particular week-long, marathon for charity, for gaming. So, be there, show them some love, and if you can, donate to the cause. Until next time, take care.